Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Arvada Center's virtual workshop. My name is Maddi DeYoung. I'm an educator at the Arvada Center, and I'm just super excited to be here with you all today. Thank you for tuning in from your homes. It's a super way to get connected and do a fun craft with your family, so that's exciting. Today is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day. Our craft today is titled Go Green Trees. So we are going to be making this lovely guy right here. And with today being Earth Day, we are celebrating in the best way possible because all of our materials for this project are supplies that you can have at your home. They're all recyclable materials. So hopefully you have that. Hopefully you had a chance to look over the supply list and are ready to do the craft with me. Our basic essential supplies that you will need are bottles, so any kind of plastic bottle. We are gonna need the precious items of the toilet paper roll. So if you have toilet paper rolls at home, definitely use those. If not, paper towel rolls are great. Our best friend today is gonna be newspaper. So newspaper, if you don't have a ton of newspaper lying around, then you can use tissue paper, you can use magazines, anything in order to just have some paper in hand. Another main thing is going to be our cardboard. So the cardboard is something that you will have in your recycle bin. This project's super easy and accessible. So go to your recycle bin if you don't have the supplies yet. Everything else I'm going to take step by step. So if you are missing a supply, you need something, then hopefully you have it just laying around your house. I'm going to get started with what we're doing. So our first step, I wanted to get the hardest step out of the way first. Now this is going to be where you may need a parental assistance. So I want this project to be easy for everyone in the family to do, but the parents definitely for this first step, you will need to probably do this, mainly because it is a little risky. It involves taking your plastic bottle. So like I said, your plastic bottles can be any size, anything you have laying around. If it's an orange juice can, like this Coca-Cola bottle right here. I'm gonna use this guy today, but with this first step, you are going to make an incision because this is where we're gonna have our branches come in. So our branches are gonna be pretty much, we're going to cut a hole. So without chopping my finger off live, I decided to already have holes that I made. But the parents, you're going to have to pretty much take an X and insert something sharp. If it's a box cutter you have, if you have a kitchen knife. Again, children, don't do this one. Definitely have your parents help you. And we're just going to start with like cutting an X in. So then that way we can feed in our straw. So we are going to feed our straw in, and this is for you to pretty much decide where the branches are going to go on our tree. And with that, we are going to have another one here. If you don't have straws at home, I definitely recommend as an alternative on the supply list, you can use chopsticks, you can use even tree branches at home. It's Earth Day, so why not go outside and find some branches to even try to put a little hole into that and have some natural elements in there. I'm gonna go ahead and I think 2 branches are okay for this one. So that's the big step. If you want 5 branches, if you want just 2, if you want 1, it all depends on the amount of holes that you cut. So that's for that. So that's the main step. After this, the children are pretty much able to do it on their own. They're very capable after that step. So, yep, that's the main one. We're gonna move on to step 2. This is gonna be a pretty easy and fun process. Step 2 is taking any of the paper material you have laying around. So magazines, like I said, tissue paper is huge, whatever you can. And we are going to start adding texture to our tree. So hopefully you guys all have done the branches. Texture for the tree. Whatever materials you are using, I definitely recommend cutting them into strips. Strips are a lot easier for you to use. And basically what I'm going to be doing is feeding the strips that I cut into the bottle. Again, if you're using tissue paper, it should be pretty easy. Magazine should be easy. My favorite part about using recycled material is the fact that we get to give it like another life. So we get to give materials that we just think we are going to throw away, that are laying around. I know it's been quarantine time, so sure the trash is piled up. Go in your trash and get anything you can. I think that's going to be awesome for today's project. On the supply list, I put down either tape or glue, and for this in particular, I'm going to use tape. Glue is going to work just fine. I will say that with glue, it's going to be really runny down the side of any kind of plastic bottle, so just be aware of that. For moms that know how to make any kind of paper mache with glue and water, that could be an awesome alternative. But basically, I am just adding texture to the tree, and I am just taping down. Everything's going to get colored eventually, and if it doesn't get colored, here's an example of what a tree could look like if we don't have any kind of paint with us today. But for the most part, everything else will get covered, so don't worry about how it looks. So I'm just taping it down. I always try to tell students that you're the artist, right? So if you like your tree to not have all these long strips, you may even decide to wrap paper around it. It's up to you. But eventually we're covering the entire surface of the bottle, so it will end up looking like this guy. I do love the idea of leaving the strips long because it adds kind of a root system effect to it, so that's super awesome. Okay, so that's that step, is pretty much covering the whole surface of your plastic bottle with paper. So I feel pretty good about this guy. I know that it will take you guys a little bit longer. I'm doing this step by step in a faster process, so that way you can come back to this this page, this video, and kind of do it on your own time. But you just get the gist of it all. So I just did that step, and now we are going to move to the extension of the tree. So that's going to be used with our precious items here, the toilet paper rolls. Again, if you don't have toilet paper rolls, I get it. If you have paper towel rolls that are in hand, definitely get those. If you're a family that has multiple kids, I definitely recommend cutting these into smaller pieces. But this is going to be an extension of our tree trunk. So it's going to lay right at the top of the bottle. Again, if you're using different types of bottles, they should work for any type. So that is our next step. What we're going to do with the toilet paper roll is either decide, do I want the extension of the tree to be really tall? Do I want it to be shorter? So I ended up kind of cutting mine a bit. Again, if you're a family that needs to be using this and making it go a long way, then cut it up. But I'm placing the paper towel roll onto the top of my bottle. And with that, I am securely putting it on. So making sure it is nice and tight on there and secure. Once that's on, again, if you're using glue, that's great. Just make sure it's on there pretty well, because this is going to eventually be what holds our crown, the crown of our tree that we're making. That way it's easy to take the crown off and put the crown back on. We are going to take the paper roll and cut a slit on each side. So be careful not to cut too far down to cut the entire roll. You also are going to want to make sure that it's not on kind of the pieces of the roll that end up just falling apart. So just be really mindful about where you cut your 2 incisions. And now it's going to be the crown time. So let's do the crown. We're gonna set this guy aside. The crown of the tree is my favorite part because I think that that offers the most expression. We go outside and we can see how beautiful all the different trees are, especially here in Colorado. So we're gonna have some fun with the crown of the tree. This is where your cardboard comes in hand. If you have cardboard from an old pizza box, cereal box, cardboard laying around, just go to your recycle bin and grab whatever you can to do this. And let's get started. Okay, so this step is pretty much just deciding what kind of shape do I want my tree to be. I always tell kids, you're the artist. So do you want your tree to be this kind of wonky, really fun, expressive tree, or do you want it to be more realistic? You can have trees be pointy, you can have trees be circle, however you like. You can even use exactly this one. Maybe your tree is really small. You totally do not have to use as big as this was, but make the most of it. You're the artist, so that is for you to decide. I'm gonna leave that one there, and I'm going to use this guy. This is another crown that I made, but essentially you're gonna cut this one out. So cut it out, use your scissors, and have some fun with that. This project is a 3D sculpture project, so it is going to be basically something that you want to look at from all sides. So never forget about the front, never forget about the back, you know, always include something that we can look at from all angles. So let's focus on that. Okay, you cut out your crown of your tree. So that should be in front of you. Now it's time to decorate it. So I love this because this project really is for you to grab any materials. So if you don't have paint with us today, you don't have newspaper, let's get creative. So I have coffee filters that could be even you could put food dye on it to add some color. But what we're mainly doing is we are going to just be adding texture. So we're going to be adding texture to our tree by placing more paper, coffee filters. Maybe you have even some fabric at home that you're not using, some old t-shirts that you want to cut up into strips and use that as some texture to add to the tree. But basically this time is for you to bring some leaves and some fun texture. I apologize in advance if my cat ever jumps up on the table. He loves to do some crafts with me. So if he does come up here, then that's just another art buddy we have. I hope you all have had fun with your pets during this time. I think they're loving that we're all home with them. So that's exciting. They can get in on this craft with you. I'm basically just adding texture with the paper or with the newspaper. And I'm only going to add a little bit to this guy today. I expect all of you to fill this up into your personal expression. If you want trees to even have actual leaves, you go outside and grab some leaves that you want to glue on. Maybe you want to add beads to it. This is just a fun part for you to get creative. I'm going to get another coffee filter in there. It takes up some more space. Again, I really wish that I had some food dye, but if you have food dye, that's going to be a great alternative when it comes to the painting part of this project. So pretty much already filling up. Now that could be my front. I'm not going to forget about the back. So let's show some love to the back. You can crumble up paper. Oh, this is a fun one. I just finished my last bagel this morning and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna throw this away. I'm gonna use it today. This would add some great texture for my tree. So let's use that. You can cut it into pieces. This is pretty much showing you that you can grab anything that's right in your craft. So I'm gonna use some of this. Let's see. I think it would be super awesome for the moms that like to kind of get a little more intricate with their work. Maybe you can help out your kid with cutting up little leaves, maybe getting really, really intricate with the texture you're adding. This is 3D, right? So it should be kind of coming forward, be a little more visible in that way. So again, I can cover the entire surface. I don't have to. Up to you. You are the artist. So essentially, this is what's going to happen is our crown will get placed right on the extension part that we have. So those slits that we cut earlier, thanks to the parents for doing that, we're going to place our crown right on there. It should be able to fit right as such. So as you can see, we already even have our tree already. Okay, so after that, we are going to continue with the fun part by adding color. So color can come in various ways. It could be with paint you have. If you don't have paint, that's totally fine. No worries about that. Like I said, alternative can be food dye for the coffee filters, possibly. You can use markers. You can totally just marker right on the cardboard. Today, I'm going to use some paint that I have. I have acrylic paint. Now, if you don't have acrylic paint, maybe you have tempera paint. That's always great. But something to give us a little bit of color. The fun part about this project is it can get as messy as you want it to be, and especially when it comes to paint. So again, this is a project that's free of expression. So if you want a purple tree, like I'm doing, then have a purple tree. I don't have a favorite color. I like to say all the colors are my favorite color, but if I did choose, purple is definitely up there. So I'm gonna have a purple tree today. I think that'll be kind of fun. So I'm basically just adding the color to it. This might be the step where you go into your cabinet and grab the food dye. This could be the step you go and grab markers. Maybe you have crayons, oil pastels could be good. Whatever you have that's accessible laying around is going to be the best for this. Let's see. I'm just adding color where I feel is most visible. I have different colors with me too to kind of add different dimensions to the tree, different layers for that. Let's have some purple over here. I'm also keeping some of it plain because I think it's super fun to see that this is recyclable material by keeping the newspaper a little bit visible in that. Would be a fun way to let everyone know that you can use whatever is laying in your bin. So that is that part. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. Then we're going to go to this side. And hopefully you guys have all been able to keep up with the steps I brought us through this far. If not, go back, you can rewind. This video will be up on our YouTube page. You can check out the Arvada Center website for that. If you've enjoyed this craft so far, the Arvada Center is super awesome with what they're doing to keep us all connected and just up to some fun activities while we're at home. So definitely check out their website. This video will be up for you to go back to share with your friends. So that is exciting. So I'm just kind of adding, I'm definitely going to leave that bagel bag to show how fun of a reuse project can be using materials on Earth Day. It's super fun. I hope you guys all have a fun Earth Day today. Go outside. Maybe this project can be something you display outside on your porch. It could be a project that could be for Mother's Day. Maybe you keep it a secret if your mom's not around for any of the kids watching. This could be a super fun little Mother's Day gift for what's coming up. Or now you have an idea of what to create yourself. Okay, so right now we're moving towards the end here. We have, let's get this out of the way. We have our tree. We have our tree that's painted. It's got the branches. And a big thing is your paper towel roll or your toilet paper roll is still pretty visible. So if you want to cover that and add texture to match up the rest of the tree, you can definitely do that. Or you can leave it plain. I particularly think today I kind of want to add, I have a little bit of green paint with me. I think I want to add a little bit more green some places. This is just fun for you and whoever you're making this project with to just have some expression with color. I think cover up some of this. And then we're going to move on to our final step. So this is pretty much the final of the actual tree itself. The next steps I'm going to bring us through are just kind of optional for you to add a little bit more of a story to the tree. And so I will let you know what that looks like. Just gonna keep covering this up. Hopefully the glue is working for you all who are using glue. Tape is kind of a faster process, but glue would work out awesome, especially for a paper mache. So I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna leave that as such. And now let's move on to an optional kind of addition to this piece. You may have seen on the supply list that egg cartons were optional, and that's what this is going to be for. So on this tree, I decided to add what is a little bird's nest or maybe a little bird nook, something for a little guy to sit in. And so that could even be a fun process and kind of side project for you to do on your own, is to even make a little bird out of paper, make a little animal that can sit right in that tree nest. So you do have an egg carton laying around and you want to do this optional step. That's what I'm going to take us through right now. We're pretty much going to either take scissors or at this point, you know, cardboard, the condition of the egg cartons in, it could just rip right off. And we have these extra little pieces, part of the egg carton. So it looks something like this. And that is going to simply be what we add onto a tree branch. And we're going to fold the pieces together. That way it kind of hangs there. Maybe I'll have two. Another idea that I thought of that the egg carton could be useful for is coloring it all red and even placing it onto our tree and having an apple tree. I think that could be super adorable to have little apples hanging from the tree. So you can either make it a little bird nook or maybe an apple tree. So I have that guy hanging there. I can paint it if I want, I can color it, but I'm gonna make sure he's on there securely by cutting out a little piece of tape. Getting him on there. I think it would be super fun to see what you all are making. So I would love to have you post pictures of your process, of your final product. Maybe instead of the straws, you use actual tree branches. I think that would be awesome. And I'd love to see that. So post your pictures on Facebook, post them on, even comment them onto the YouTube page, but I would just love to see what you guys create today. And so there you have it. You have a little nest for your bird to sit in, and that pretty much completes our project for today. Easy steps. I hope I walked it through smoothly for you. Go back, take your time, definitely don't rush into it. This is supposed to be a fun activity for the whole family to enjoy, using materials that you have at home. So decorate it, get fancy. I added some string that I had lying around. Again, give materials life back. Put some, maybe even beans. Beans could be a fun texture, anything you have. You could put clothes, glitter, anything, any kind of recyclable material. But it's Earth Day. I hope you enjoyed this craft. I'm excited to see what you all make. If I don't see you on another video soon, definitely sign up for classes. The Arvada Center is always running classes. Sign up for some summer ones. Check out our website at thearvadacenter.org. And I hope to see you then. But have a great day.